What's going on, guys? Whitt Fitness here. This is episode 2 of the How to Squat series. This is going to be covering the lift on how to do the squat itself. And I'm just going to break down each little movement and technique to really dial in and focus. First things first, what you want to do is you're going to want to learn how to breathe. So when you're doing a squat, you should not be breathing at all during the rep. You're going to take a deep breath in, and you're going to hold it, and then when you take that deep breath, you're going to go down and breathe out on the way up. Breathing out is really important. It's going to help you get the weight up, but it's important that you don't breathe out until the weight's coming up, because if you breathe out on the way down, your stomach's going to collapse, and you're going to cause possible problems for your spine. After you get the breathing down, we'll get into the movement now. So what you're going to do is you're going to unlock your knees. And I mean that as simple as you're just going to simply bend your knees. It's just that simple. This is an easy technique. Just simply bend your knees. But here's where it gets tricky. You're going to have to open your hips simultaneously with unlocking your knees. So opening your hips is simply this. You're simply going to go like that. You can unlock your hips. So now you got to combine the opening your knees and opening your hips, or unlocking your knees and opening your hips at the same time. So what you're going to do is you're going to unlock them at the same time. Because if you only unlock your knees and don't move your hips, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. Or vice versa, this is going to happen. So you got to do both at the same time. So really important, when you're squatting, you're not pretend like you're sitting on a chair. Not like that. That's not what you're going to do. You're going to want to sit between your legs. So what you're going to do is you're simply just going to spread, you're going to push your knees out. You're going to push your knees out and act like you're sitting between your legs. So, as you can see, my knees are pushed outwards. My feet are facing outwards, my knees are pushed outwards, and I'm sitting between my legs. I don't like sitting on my heels. Pay attention to my back. Very, very, very important. As you can see, it stays straight through the whole movement, and that's what you want. You don't want your back to be just rounding out. That's going to tear your back muscle if you keep doing that. Next up, we got elbow placement. Now, if you come to the back, you can see, preferably you want your elbows underneath you. You don't want them flared out. You want to get them tucked underneath you. It'll just overall keep you more stable, and you'll feel more stable that way. And you'll feel just overall a lot stronger, keeping your elbows underneath you. And plus, when you get to the bottom of a squat, if you get them underneath you, it helps with the drive upwards. Whereas if they were flared out, the weight kind of overbearingly when you get to the heavier weights. Now moving on to hand placement on the bar. Now you'll see some people can put their arms out like this, and some people that's okay. But what I like to do is I like to get my hands as close to me as possible. Like I said, it just kind of makes me more stable, and overall I can flex my back better. See, if my arms are out like this, it's really hard for me to contract my back. Whereas my arms right here, I can get underneath me and contract my back and keep it more stable. So you want to get your hands as close to you as possible for an overall more stable squat. Moving on to knee placement. Now this is very, very important because I hear a lot of myths about it. Watch my knees when I do this squat and see if you know what I'm talking about. So if you noticed, my knees come forward over my toes, which a lot of people will sit there and say, that's bad for your knees. No, that is very inaccurate. Full ass to grass squatting will require your knees to go past your toes. The only thing that really matters is where the pressure's at, which leads me to my last and final point, stay on your heels. Your knees can be way out here when you squat, but if you're on your heels, that's where the pressure's at. It's going to be on your heels, through your hamstrings, and more focused on your glutes versus your knees. If you squat and you come on your tiptoes like this, that over time will trash your knees. And that's why so many guys in the gym have bad knees, because when they squat and they try to go low, they get on their tiptoes. Never want to do that. Stay on your heels. And it helps if you actually keep your toes off the ground. Some people do that as like a learning technique. That will drastically help. Stay on your heels throughout the entire movement. Final point, summary, you're going to want to squat as low as you possibly can as long as your flexibility allows. Now, I'm going to cover the flexibility in the third installment of the series, but pretty much when you're going to want to squat as low as you can, preferably when your hamstrings hit your calves. As you notice, when I squat, that's what hits. My hamstrings and calves touch each other. That's what you want. You're going to want to squat full range of motion to get the most optimal gains, hence what this whole YouTube series is about. If you like these videos and what they're doing for you, if they're motivating you to squat full range of motion and quit doing them shallow knee squats, give this video a thumbs up. Go back and watch the first episode of the series to learn how to warm up for the squat, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel to watch the third installment when I cover the flexibility to maintain that full range of motion. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you later.